Hello guys, so today we're trying to build a modular system under 1000 bucks. For me it's really challenging because modular is like a really expensive hobby, so if you want to get into modular you need to spare some money and yeah, I think anyway 1000 bucks is a good amount of money to start with modular. I try to show you some modules today which I think of are very good to start with. Let's get right into it. So first things first, we need a modular case. So I think this one is a really good choice. It's the Creado Nifty case. It's about 200 bucks, but it has already built in a MIDI interface, which costs about $100 to $200 in average. So anyway, the case is like for free. So yeah, I think there's also enough space for the first case. So I think you're very good if you just get this one, you know. Yeah, so if we got the case, we just had 800 bucks left. We go to the site, which is called Modular Grid, where we can plan our modular system. You should know this one if you want to start with modular. And I think also some of you guys will hate me for this, but I recommend for the first start with modular some Behringer stuff because it's really cheap and you know they're cloning stuff which is already very popular in the scene, so you can already get used to some very common modules like the brains, maybe, you know, or the abacus. It's like the maths. It's a really good module. But let's start out with the brains. You know, this is like 100 bucks for any sound you probably want to do. It's like wavetable stuff, basic VCO stuff. You have some percussive elements. You have some modal synthesis. You have just anything you think of in this module. You also have an envelope built in, which means you don't need to buy an extra envelope module. I think this one is really good to start with. You know, we have some options left. We start with the voice always on the modular system. So this is the voice I would recommend to start with. But if you find it, you can go also with the original one, Plaits. You know, this is like, Brands is just a copy of this one. This is like the original one. But for me are modules like maybe Basimilus. Very interesting because it's like a really creative voice for some percussive stuff. You can do also bass lines with it. If you check my last video, I do some creative stuff with it, and there's also the Law Calic, which is also a very interesting voice. You know, you have also here in the noise engineering modules, you have some envelopes built in, so you don't need extra envelopes in your modular system. So if you have some voice like the brains, we should continue with some creative stuff. So I would start maybe with something like the filter. You know, the West filter sounds really good. It's really cheap. It's like 80 bucks or something. It's a really good module. Never have enough filters in your modular system. And on the West filter, it's really good that you can just modulate any parameter of the filter. So you can get also here really creative. I think this is a really good filter to start with. We should continue also with some effects like the Pico DSP here. It's a really cheap effect module. The Pico DSP is a really easy to use effect module. You just have 8 different effects, but it's enough for techno. You know, it's like I think mono delay, stereo delay, some pitch shift delay, some reverb, some distortion. So it have anything you need for your first patch. So I think this is a really good one. I also own one and I use it a lot, so I can recommend this highly. It's also around 100 bucks, so it's really cheap to start with. So the next module I would go with is like the Thing MK4. It's also a really good module, very cheap and really good. It's like everything you can think of inside this module. You can use this as a VCO, you can use this as a effect module, you can use this as an envelope, you can use this like as a sequencer, you can use this like anything. So this is like a really creative module. You know, for me, modular is not about making perfect sounds, perfect music. Modular is for me to get a creative workflow, to get some interesting sounds and it's about experimenting and getting creative. And this is a module which is exactly that. I think this is like one of the best modules to start with to get creative inside your modular system. Once we have our creative module, we should also get some LFOs, so to modulate some parameters here. I think there are two different LFO types which I really like. One is a rhythmic LFO by Noise Engineering, the Diaz. I own this also. This one is really, I would say, it's an LFO, it's a random LFO, and it's a rhythmic LFO. So you are synced with the clock and you can change the parameters here. You can also get a free LFO, but I think I would combine this in a small modular system like this. I think something like the maths, or I think Abacus. Yeah, we have it here. So it's already, it's again Behringer, but you know, it's again $100 and you get the maths module. So you have some LFOs here, you get some attenuators here, you have some sound shaping tools here, which is perfect for a modular. This is like one of the most popular modules in a modular system because it's really versatile and also you can get really creative here. So I think this combination of this 4 modules is perfect because you have some free LFOs here for the brains, you have some rhythmic LFO here, you have some creative LFO, VCO, whatever. You can get some interesting stuff alone with this 6 modules here. But we have still some space here in the module and I'm also still missing some things. So let's check out something like a mult module, because for the clock and for the Diaz we need some mult. They are very cheap, but you definitely need one inside of your modular case. There's also a cheap module from Döpfer I would recommend because you always need to attenuate some signals. This is a passive attenuator. It's only $40, you know, but I would recommend it to have it just in your case because you can use the multiply the signal and go into the attenuator, attenuate the signal and then go to the brains or whatever. So you have more control over your voltage. So I think this is like the perfect start with modular. You can get really creative with this case. You can, like, if you don't like the voice, you can just replace it like this. You would need to spend a little more money on this, or you can just put the Diaz away, you know, just go like this. Or I don't know, maybe you don't like the effects because you do it in Ableton or something like that, so you can get rid of this and then you're again on $800. So you can get also creative, you know, it's your modular system, it should be unique, so get creative with this. This is just a recommendation how I would start with $1,000. So get a case for 200 and this 6 modules for like 800. And yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, so this is it. I hope I could help you out with some ideas. And yeah, if you have any questions or something, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, see you in the next video.